Hi second graders, so excited to be here today with you to do your puzzle books. We're going to be doing 3 sections of puzzles. The first one is going to be words thinking. They're going to be little short stories. The second section is numbers thinking, where we're going to be looking at more and less. The last section is going to be shapes and patterns. So each of you have your puzzle book. This is the front, this is the back. Please do not trade your puzzle book with anyone because there is a sticker on it that has your name, that's your identifying information. So are you going to share this puzzle book with anyone? No. So please go to the front of your puzzle book. Now open it to the very back page. It's blank. It's on the back side of where your sticker is for your identifying information. On this page, you're going to use your pencil and divide it into 3 parts. It does not have to be perfect, but this is the section that you'll be able to draw if you get done a little bit early with your puzzle set. So this box is for after the first section, this box is for after the second section, and this box is for the last section. Only use pencil, no crayon, no magic markers, no colored pencils. Okay, please go back to the front of your booklet. We're going to practice how you answer the puzzles. Please open it to the first page. It is purple with hats. So on this page, please look at the pictures. Do you see the pictures with the ruler, the scissors, and the glue? What do you see under the scissors? It's a black dot. That's how your answers need to look. So please look at me here on the board. In your puzzle book, there's going to be these circles. We call them bubbles. It's how you're going to mark your answers. You are going to fill the bubbles in to mark your thinking. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to be marked all the way. Your booklets get sent off to a computer and it's going to read the lead in the tip of your pencil, so you have to have a number 2 pencil. I recommend that you fill it in a circle, not side to side and not up and down. So kind of fill it in like a swirl. The computer cannot read an X, it cannot read a check, it will not read a kindergarten scribble, and it won't read a little dot in the middle. So when you mark your answers, just fill it in all the way. If you mark an answer and you keep thinking and you decide that you want to change your answer, that's great. Just erase it and fill in the answer that you want. So let's do a practice puzzle together. Do you see the line of pictures with the fish? Please mark the bubble that shows 3 fish. And then I would go around and just check everyone's booklets just to make sure that they understand, check their bubbles, they know how to fill it in. We'll often get a dot like this or the scribbles. It just needs to be filled in all the way. So once your class understands how to complete the bubbles, you can go on to your first section. So students, please go to page number 1. It is orange with stars. For this set of puzzles, the pictures in the box tell a little tiny story. The top 2 pictures go together, they tell a little story, and I want the bottom 2 pictures to go together in the same way to tell the same story. So what's the top row picture story? How do those go together? Yes, the little cat grows up to be a big cat. So what's the story that should go in the bottom row? It should tell the same story. Yes, the little dog grows up to be the big dog. So you will mark your puzzle, fill in the bubble that shows the big dog. Now do the second one by yourself. So here's where I would go around the class, check kids' bubbles, make sure they understand, and you can certainly take more time to explain how this works. Top row pictures tell a little story, bottom row pictures should tell the same story. Okay, students, bottom row. Somebody tell me, how do the first 2 pictures go together? A foot goes in a shoe. So what should go in the bottom row? The pictures should tell the same story. A hand goes in a glove. Okay, students, so you can turn to page 2. You're going to do all the puzzles on page 2, all the puzzles on page 3, all the puzzles on page 4 and 5, all the puzzles on page 6 and 7. There's 18 total. When you get to stop, what do you think you do at stop? You stop. Please raise your hand when you're done. I'm just going to come around and quickly look at your bubbles, and then you'll be able to doodle on your back page. Is everybody ready? Listos? Okay, so students do the first section. Here's the thing. If there are students that take a really long time to finish the section, and like everybody else is done, you can move on to the next section. If you think it's worth the time to have the student go back and finish the section, please do. If they're not quite understanding it or the puzzles get too hard and they're not finishing, that's okay. They do not have to finish. So, okay, students, next section, it's green with bicycles on page 9. This is going to be our numbers section. So for this section, the top row pictures change. I want you to have the bottom row pictures change in the same way. So there's going to be more or less or same. So what happens in the top row pictures? Yes, the whole nut gets cracked into a half nut. So the same thing should happen to the apple. So how many pieces should the apple be broken into? Halves. Okay, next picture. How do the leaves change on the top row? Yes, 2 leaves to 3 leaves. They added 1. So what should happen to the ladybugs, to the mariquitas? Yes, you add 1. So how many should there be? There should be 3 ladybugs. So this section, second graders, you're going to do all the number puzzles on the green pages, page 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. On the bottom of page 15, there's a stop. What should you do here? Stop. Please raise your hand. I'll come around and check your puzzles. And you can doodle on the back page. When you're going around and checking the students' puzzle books, you want to make sure they didn't skip any of the puzzle sets and they didn't miss any pages. Sometimes the pages will stick together, so that's why we go by and check. Real quick on the math puzzle sets. Sometimes students will say, well, I don't know what to do here. You can ask, what do you see in the top row pictures? How do they change? Tell me what you see. You can't tell them what to do. If it's a student that might not understand exactly, you can say, how does it change? Is there more or less? But you only want to give just really specific brief prompts so the students are doing the thinking. And so you can certainly kind of figure out, are they misunderstanding what you're asking them to do, or is the math maybe a little too difficult? Okay, students, last puzzle set. This is shapes and patterns. So for this set of puzzles, the top row pictures are going to change, and I want you to make the bottom row pictures change in the same way. So what happens to the 2 top row shapes? Yes, they're both circles. One is big, it gets smaller. So what should happen in the bottom row shapes? Yes, they should be both triangles. One is bigger, one is smaller. So you will mark this bubble in the puzzle. Okay, second row pictures. How do the pictures change? Yes, they're both arrows. One is up and one is down. What do we call that? Opposite directions. So the bottom row puzzle should change in the same way. They should both be arrows. What direction should it go? One is going left, the other should go right. So you will fill in your puzzle. So students, for this puzzle set, you can turn your page. You'll be doing all the light green pages. Page 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. What should you do when you get to stop? Stop. Raise your hand. I'll check your puzzles. You can do your last drawing on the back page. Any questions? Go for it. Yeah.